James P. Thomas, and in the Navy I was a first-class petty officer, radarman originally, they became operating specialist, and then in the Air Force I retired as a major. I joined the Naval Reserve when I was a junior in high school, and I was 17 years old. In fact, my dad had to sign me in, and I went through boot camp, and during the summer between my junior and senior year, and then stayed in the reserves, and as soon as I graduated from college, I went on active duty. It was, well, my dad had been in the Navy, my grandfather had been in the Navy, his brothers had been in the military. I was ready to go in. To me, it was a chance to basically do something that I found interesting, and they offered me a good chance to get out of the house and leave Aurora, Illinois, and go off and see the world. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, while I thought about getting out and staying out when I got home from Vietnam and started college, I wasn't gone more than a month, and I'm back in reserves, and going to college in the reserve unit. And then as soon as I graduated from college, I got commissioned and went back in. So I think it was a good fit for both of us. It gave you a sense of purpose, sense of discipline. You got up, you made your bunk, you didn't have your mother there to pick up your clothes. It gave you a sense of discipline and a sense of belonging too. In many respects, it's my own feeling, is I wish we still had the draft, because a lot of kids, well, let's give you an example. You got a kid who goes through 12 years of school and doesn't have much direction, much discipline, much self-respect. You send him through a 90-day boot camp, and he comes out able to show up on time, make his bed, go to school, has a sense of responsibility, and is able to take orders. They do that in 90 days, something we couldn't do in 12 months or 12 years. So that's my own opinion. I'm sure other people would challenge that, but it worked for me. I attended Radar A School. Back then, they're still transitioning from vacuum tubes to transistors. In fact, Naval Tactical Data System, which is probably the long since been superseded by Aegis and things like that, was the state of the art back then. And so we learned basic electronics, went through basic electronics school in radar, and then went into basically learning our skills as a radarman, which everything from how to plot course speed and CPAs, closest point of approach, to radio telephone procedures, talking on the radio, how to do direct fire support, and things like that. I found it probably one of the most interesting careers. You're in operations, and you're working in Combat Information Center, and you're basically in the brains of the ship. And so I found it very, very interesting. Of course, I was a seaman, deck seaman, and struck for radar. In fact, as fate would have it, I took the radar test when I went to A school, and you had to start off at basic electronics in San Diego, at the old NTC San Diego. I think they closed that now. But I went to basic electronics school there, and I remember one morning, I got called to the commandant's office. And remember the old undressed blue jumpers? That's what we wore for uniform. And I get called over there. I'm a seaman, and I have to get called into the commandant's office, and he starts chewing me out for being out of uniform. And I'm looking, I'm at attention. I'm trying to figure out, what's wrong. I've got my correct shoes on, and everything else. And then he starts laughing and hands me my third class scroll. I made third class in A school. I guess that was unusual. I guess they do that now if you extend, but that was unusual then. And he gave me permission to immediately go to the BX, get it sewed on, and suggest I buy a box of cigars. And so it was a great day, because I come walking back in with my third class scroll on and pass out cigars. So he had fun, and he made my day. And I also got a bunch of back pay too, because the third class scroll had been following me for a couple of weeks.